Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is my lunch date with Mrs. Alaska Prepper, and as I was traveling down this road, as you can see here, there's a pretty big accident up ahead. And it's got to be big because so far we've got 2 fire trucks, 3 ambulances, 2 police cars, and a tow truck. So I'm just hoping that whoever's involved in that accident up there is going to be okay. But I obviously don't know what the situation is. I'm this far behind, as you can see. So I thought that I'd take this time to have a little talk with you. And did you take a look at the scenery? You know what? Towards the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and on my way back home, I don't know how long I'm going to be stuck here. But on my way back home, I'm going to take some video of the scenery so you can see how beautiful it looks this time of year. It's like a winter paradise. But it's really only a winter paradise if you don't have to deal with snow removal operations, as I like to call it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about reparations, ladies and gentlemen. So I've been hearing about, and I think I talked about this briefly on one of my previous videos, and forgive me because I am senile. I forget almost everything that I talk about on a daily basis. But that COP27 that they had, I think it was in Greece, I think they had it, or Egypt. So it was like a climate change thing where, like, I don't know, 100 countries or so went to it. And out of that meeting, they said that the United States should pay poorer nations reparations for climate change. And I'm thinking about this. So you probably heard about this a few days back, but here I'm thinking about it and stewing on it. And as I'm sitting here, you know, looking at how beautiful nature looks and everything, I start thinking about this, and this is what I don't understand. All right, the United States, let's say that all of this CO2 stuff is true. Let's say that it's all true. Let's say that if we don't stop using fossil fuels or whatever, that the world is going to burn, right? Let's just say that that's all true, right? Let's just play that game. So the United States is, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure that you would agree with me, the biggest part of what makes up NATO's military power. So you have a whole bunch of smaller countries with lower GDPs that don't really have big militaries at all. And usually whenever you hear that NATO is going to bring its military forces to this place or that place, the majority of the forces comes from the United States. So here we are providing, or here our president is agreeing that we should pay reparations to smaller countries that are within NATO for climate, because of all of the abuses that we've done to the climate, because of all of the emissions of CO2 that we put into the air. What I don't understand is that the military is one of the biggest polluters in the world. The U.S. military is. You can look this up. The U.S. military pollutes more than many small countries put together. Well, how is it that we are paying, or that they want us to pay reparations to all of these countries that barely contribute to their military forces, that barely contribute to the military power that NATO has, where the U.S. is the biggest contributor, and then want us to pay reparations for the emissions that we're putting in the air for supporting the biggest military that there is in NATO? You understand what I'm saying? So we are putting all of these emissions in the air. And remember, we're just making believe that all of this CO2 thing is real. Our military is putting all of these emissions in the air, and we're polluting the world with all of our CO2. But in doing that, we are also acting as NATO's top dog, right? When NATO wants to go somewhere and blow something up, who do they call? No, not Ghostbusters. They call the U.S. military. All of these munitions that are being sent to the eastern part of Europe, those cause a lot of pollution. Well, who gives them? Who gives them those, I'm sorry, I'm looking up ahead. It looks like we're moving. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like we're moving along. I figured that we would start moving once the police officers showed up, because that way they can control the traffic. Oh, there's another police officer or a state trooper. So as I was saying, we are the biggest polluters as far as the military goes, right? But all of these smaller countries that want to get reparations from the United States, maybe they're not polluting as much per capita because they don't have the military that we have, that they depend on when things go south. So in other words, who is it really that should be getting reparations? I don't make this political, but I will mention former President Trump's name when he said that all of these other countries in NATO were not paying their fair share. And that's true, they're not. Not only are they not paying their fair share, but now they're expecting us to pay for them, to pay them reparations for the CO2 that we put in the air in protecting them. Doesn't seem right, does it? I hope that by now you all realize what a big scam this is, this CO2 thing, and that really what it's about two things. It's about controlling us and telling us what we can and can't do, what we can and can't buy, or when we can and can't buy it. And it's also about money. It's about taxing us so that they can get more money to fulfill their end goal. Oh, look at this. I've actually been stuck here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. It doesn't look like it was that big of an accident. Oh, yeah. Well, I see some windows shattered and everything like that. Man, I hope the people are all right. I don't see any civilians in the vehicles or anything like that. So I'm hoping that they got them inside of the ambulance and brought them, to the hospital, obviously. Man, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you enjoy the little things in life. Look at that beautiful sky. Oh my goodness, look at that beautiful sky. I love this time of the year. I mean, can you see it in the air, ladies and gentlemen? Can you see Christmas in the air? I can. Beautiful. Enjoy the little things, ladies and gentlemen. You just never know what's going to happen, right? And I'm sure many of you are like, hey, P, you shouldn't be driving and recording. No, don't worry about it. I'm doing this very safely. I am aware of everything around me. And I travel this road almost every single day for the last, 6 or 7 years, 6.5 years or so. Yeah, like I was saying, enjoy the little things. So let me know down in the comments what you think about that. Do you really think, even if you are a climate activist, even if you believe that we are polluting the world with CO2, and in turn that will cause the globe to warm to an extent that it will make living unlivable here on this earth, right? Even if you believe that, do you think that we ought to be paying reparations to these countries that rely on our military to protect them, in turn expending a whole bunch of CO2 and pollutants into the atmosphere? Do you think we ought to be paying reparations? Me personally, I don't believe so, right? Even if I believe all of the CO2 stuff, I don't believe we should be paying reparations. I believe that it should be those countries that we are policing for that should be paying reparations to the United States. But you all know that's not going to happen. You all know, if you're watching this and if you're awake, you all pretty much know what the agenda is. And the agenda is, like I stated before, is to have full control of everything that we do, to tax us more so we can be poor, so that we can in turn be two classes of citizens instead of many classes of citizens, meaning that you can actually live the life that you want to live depending on how hard you work. They want to make it to where it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're going to get what you get. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it at that, okay? My food is probably cold by now, but that's all right. Hopefully my wife is still there. I'll probably show up to the restaurant and she's already gone, with my food in her truck. All right, having said that, have a great day, and God bless every one of you.